He had the old goat pretty bloody, but he never did cut his throat. And that goat could knock the bottom out of every horse trough we ever built with them horns. We finally, that old hollow log,
Yeah.
I've still got it down there in the pasture. He couldn't butt the bottom out of it. That's the only one he couldn't tear up.
The old horse trough that was down there at the barn?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
It laying down in the pasture now. I built a shed over it, but it come a tornado and tore the shed off of it, and I just left it down there.
What kind of log is that?
Cypress.
Cypress. Where'd we ever have any cypress around there?
Well, it's down on the river. He bought that in the river house.
Oh. Oh.
You know they had a show down there, a little country show down there one time on weekend? They did.
No. I must not have been born.
Well,
Jesse was almost 6 years older than I am, Kelly.
well, I know one thing. Mr. Caldwell and them come over there and asked our family if they wanted to go. And of course, Mama was a Pentecostal. And she said no. And says Bob ain't going either. But they went. But we went down there in the daytime. And, man, they had them big old wheels up down there. It probably wasn't over 12 foot tall, but we thought it was 100 foot, you know, as a little kid and seeing something like that. And they had them old painted clams. And Mama called them women old hula hoolies.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of woman that was.
Well,
She
yeah.
called them hula hoolies.
You can figure it out, I guess.
Well, how long had we lived in the old Jude house before I was born?
You know, I don't know about it. You know, that we was living there when I went with the first girl, and that night I had to sleep out on the porch with the dogs. Papa wouldn't let me in the house. I didn't ask him if I could take that girl home. Her name was Hazel. And they called her 4x4. She was just as wide as she was tall. Paul Smith said, hey, Kelton, one thing I ain't gonna worry about. You're not gonna hug that woman. I said, if you want to, I'll help you. Both of us can. So she wanted me to take her home because her sister had a date and she went
Now,
on
Kelly,
right ahead of her.
You couldn't have been old enough to be dating. Yeah,
Yes, I wasn't, but I sure did.
If I, are you talking about way after I was born down at the old Jude house? Because you're 80 and I'm 70, and that made you only 10 years old. You could not have been taking a girl home.
Well,
I'm telling you, I took her home
yeah.
and went, you know, where Ward Porter lived?
Yeah.
Wasn't nothing but wagon road. But we went right down that road.
From the old Jude house? Or
No,
from the
the
old
church house, the Baptist church house.
Oh, that's at Orr.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'm talking about.
Old pork chop. Yeah. February 13th, 2004. Got a little bit of snow going on. Big snow's kind of stopped, but it's still sleeting out there. And old pork chop here just thought he had to come over and take a look at it. What are you doing? Kind of slowed down right now, but you can see there's a little bit out there. Look, Donna. It's actually the red birds are on the ground. It's going to snow. That's what it is. It's the red birds. And we were thinking it was the blackbirds on the ground was going to snow.
Got it before me. He was late. You know, they were saying we were supposed to go on the Alta. True. They said that's leaving right now. He goes, yeah. Let me give you your sticker. You need to get down to the gangway right away. Because they were supposed to have been in here at 8:45 because they were leaving at 9.
We missed you at breakfast this morning.
All right, folks, listen up. Right now we are stickering the Belize City Tour, the Belize City Tour only. Make sure your tickets say Belize City Tour. You should have an orange sticker for the Belize City Tour. Yeah, we'll call that one a bit later. Just the Belize City Tour right now. We will be calling the other tours a little bit later. You should have an orange sticker if you're ticket.
There's some seats right over across the aisle there.
So I'm going to be the only walking flowers you're going to be seeing today, okay? This area that we're passing, we're going to be seeing a lot of local vendors. This is what they do for a living. All local vendors all around these locations. So if you want souvenirs, these are the location you can come to. Also, you can go inside the tourist village. The terminal that we were in just now, that is Terminal 4, okay? That is a new additional area that we have just added on to the tourist village. On the left-hand side, ladies, this is as big as we get them. This is Mirab. That's our mall. Okay? That's the mall. The only one here in the city. Over this side, this is Wet Lizard on our right-hand side. This is where you can have some cold Belgian beer. That's the only beer we're drinking today, because that's the only beer we make. Okay? This is the additional areas on our right-hand side for the tourist village. And this is also where Diamond International is located. Okay? So mommies, probably you can Harbor View Restaurant is located over on our right-hand side. So if you want a little bit of cuisine here in Belize, this is where you can come to Harbor View Restaurant. Audubon Society is located over on our left-hand side. Audubon works together with James Audubon from Florida, same Audubon Society. And they have an annual bird count here in Belize. Let's check how many birds. The left-hand side. This is all the local kids, school kids around here. Excuse me? Yeah, we have a lot of birds from the United States Raiders. Closest we get. Over on the right-hand side, we're going to view a lighthouse. A lighthouse and a tomb right in front of it. The tomb is for Mr. Baron Bliss. This gentleman came from Portugal and he was crippled from the waist down. When he came, unfortunately he never set foot on Belizean soil, but he fell in love with the fishing done here in the country of Belize, and he also fell in and he wanted to be buried right in front of the Caribbean Sea. And also he stated that he wanted a day set aside for him, and today we honor him the 9th of March. That's our holiday. So everyone that gives us $1 million, they also have a public in bank, okay? So if anyone has spares, you can do so. Looking over on our left-hand side, you're viewing the Radisson Fort George Hotel. You join the Radisson International for Market. Huge community of Taiwanese located on the Western Highway, and they have introduced to us the tilapia fish. Also on the right hand side, this is the Mexican embassy. Belize and Mexico has a great bond together. If we want a visa or an in-transit visa, this is where we come and get them, okay? If you're gonna notice, most of these homes around these locations are all colonial structures. And you know the colonial structures by the roof, the red roof, and also the designs on the balconies and the windows. Okay, that's the way how you know the colonial homes. Most of them that you're viewing right now were built by mahogany. Most of them, windows. That's for wind purposes, okay? So we have to build the windows like that. And all the homes around here was owned by a gentleman known as Mr. Sidney Thurton. Mr. Sidney Thurton is a gentleman that exported chewing gum from the country of Belize to the Wrigley's factory in the United States. Okay. We knew it here as chicle, and it is extracted out of forests. Very beautiful trees. What they do with the trees, they normally cut them in V's, and they put a whole big sock underneath, so all the sock will drain right into those socks. Coming up, we're going to be viewing over on our right-hand side one of our first churches that we're going to be passing, and this is the St. Mary's Church. The St. Mary's Church is an Anglican church, and the dominating religion in the country of Belize is Catholic. The reason is because the dominating culture is a mixture of Spaniard. That's the reason. But we have all type of denomination in the country. We have 7 Days Adventists, Jehovah's, any different type of religion. Gonna meet some more school kids over on our right hand side, and that's the St. Mary's School. Also on the right hand side, we're going to be passing the Red Cross headquarters, and they do a wonderful job here in the country of Belize. The Red Cross headquarters normally take care of most of the hurricane shelters. Remember, we are attracted by hurricane from June to November. That's hurricane season. Who has hurricane back home?
Oh
Has anyone ever been through hurricanes?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for the rest of you guys, come to Belize. Enjoy a hurricane here. Right? That's a new experience, another one. Well, they're the ones that take care of the hurricane shelters. And also, we don't have welfare in the country of Belize. So institutions like those and Rotary, those are the ones that normally feed the homeless here in Belize. Coming up over on our left-hand side, this is Copacabana. Copacabana is a Latin nightclub, so if you're interested how to learn to dance salsas and cumbias, merengues, this is where you come on a Friday night. Okay, that's what you're seeing right there. They're stocking up for Friday partying. That's the good thing about the country of Belize, you know. Partying starts on a Thursday and it rides right up until Wednesdays. That's partying in the country of Belize. We're going to be passing through many narrow streets here in Belize City. Right? But don't worry, Roy is pretty good. I have no problem with Roy's driving today. Most of the narrow streets was because there wasn't a real layout of the city. They only built it for reasons that they needed streets only for buggies and carts. So they weren't expecting the carnival would ever be here someday, and definitely not expecting these buses would be passing around these narrow streets. Well, the good thing is that we changed the driving style. Don't drive again anymore on the left-hand side, okay? Because we would have a lot of accidents. The reason we were driving on the left-hand side because this was British Honduras. Everyone heard about British Honduras? Well, this was British Honduras. And in 1973, we changed it from British Honduras to the country we know it today as Belize. And every time they keep on changing it, people ask us. They don't know where we're located again. I don't think we're going to be doing any more changing around. Because first we were known as Bay of Honduras. That's when the Spaniards were around. Then it became British Honduras. Now today it's Belize. Okay, and I hope it stays like that. Well, English, yes. Belizean dollars also. This is the only English-speaking country in Central America. Our first language is English, right? Because of the British system. The driving was also on the left-hand side, but we had to change it around to suit our partners, Mexico and Guatemala. Mexico is only approximately 2 hours away from the first area in Mexico. Okay? That's not too far away. They had to change it around. No, you have no problem in investing in the country of Belize, and you don't have any problem in having residents, like homes around the country. Okay, we have a lot of places that most of them are owned by Americans. What happens, they come here, they live here when it's snowing back home, and when it's hurricane season, they go right back home, okay?
Sounds like y'all have a
spend
place
half
here.
of their time here.
Get out of
You
here.
can look over on our right-hand side. What you're viewing is construction. Yes, they're building a huge seawall and they're filling up this property so a boulevard can run through this area. Costs a lot of money to live around here. Reasons, because ones, okay? Marina Tower is located over on our right-hand side. This is the first condominium here in Belize City. And I must say, it's not the only one. We have other condominiums in the islands. On most of the islands, but the more into Nazarene Church, baptized in Nazarene Church. All the names come right after the churches. Mandatory to wear uniform, as you can see the kids in your uniform right now. It eliminates two problems. One of them, competing with clothing at the school. Right in front of us, this is the hotel everyone